Welcome into Dallas Mavericks Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Harrison Graham, and we are 3 days away from the NBA trade deadline, so Mavericks trade rumors continue to circulate, and we got some cooked up for you guys on today's show. Let's start with this one. Are the Mavs interested in CJ McCollum? Well, according to a report that's out there, and we'll break this one down, and we've taught McCollum a few times over the past couple of weeks. Michael Scotto of HoopsHype has this one saying, quote, rival executives around the league believe the Trailblazers will move C.J. McCollum by the trade deadline or this offseason as Portland continues to reshape its roster around franchise star Damian Lillard. Several teams, including the Pelicans, Mavericks, and others, are expected to have interest in trading for McCollum, who is owed $69 million over the next 2 seasons. Now, that's obviously a lot of money, but that being said, I really like CJ. That's a player I would like in Dallas. For Portland's side of things, it does look like they could be hitting the explosion button, that they might blow it up, and this shouldn't be that surprising if they go this route, because the McCollum-Lillard duo kind of feels like it's maxed out when they made the conference finals a few years ago, so it would not shock me at all if they split those two up. Could you get McCollum on a discounted trade? Like, if Portland's desperate to make a move, could you get him for, I don't even know what the trade would look like, but could you get him for, without giving up Porzingis, number one? I don't think the Mavs would do it if they had to give up Porzingis. I don't know. That's something I would at least look into if I was Nico Harrison. Now, McCollum not averaging as many points this year, but he's still shooting the ball well. 20.5 points on 38% from three. Throughout his career, he's gotten better as kind of a floor general, a guy who can create for others as well. 4.5 assists this year, grabbing just over 4 rebounds. I like CJ. I always have. I think he would give you a really nice secondary scorer next to Luka Doncic. Now, what makes this hard is Tim Hardaway Jr. being injured. If he was healthy, I think this trade would be much more doable. Sure, a team could trade for him while he's hurt, but that rarely happens. I don't think the Mavs would trade a Jalen Brunson for C.J. McCollum. Doesn't sound like Dorian Finney-Smith is going anywhere. We'll talk about him a little bit later on. Dwight Powell, Reggie Bullock. Bullock's all of a sudden starting to play better, so his trade value's definitely gone up. But do you want to move him? That's another question as well. Now, Bleacher Report recently put together a trade idea around C.J. McCollum, so we'll revisit this here. C.J. and Larry Nance coming to Dallas for Tim Hardaway, Reggie Bullock, a first in 2025, and then a second this year, and then plus send over that trade exception to the Blazers as well. It's interesting. I would consider it. Getting C.J., if you don't have to give up Brunson or Finney-Smith or obviously Porzingis, let's do it. I mean, if you could pull that off, that trade right there, I would absolutely pull the trigger on that one, especially considering Hardaway is not even healthy at the moment. I just wonder if Portland would actually do it if the biggest asset was arguably an injured Tim Hardaway. I think that could be a tough sell to the Blazers. It would give the Mavs an extra creator. It would give them an extra scorer. We've talked about that time in and time out. You need more ball handlers. CJ is not a primary point guard, but he could certainly do plenty of that as well. And then, quite frankly, this should show the fan base, hey, we're not messing around. You know, you give Luka Doncic the Supermax extension, and obviously the clock has started ticking since that. You have to build a winner around him. And if you go get a guy like C.J. McCollum, that's sending him a message, your fan base a message that, hey, we're trying to win, and we're trying to win now. So keep an eye on this. I wouldn't say I would predict it, but the idea of CJ playing at the AAC, I'm very intrigued. Name a player you want the Mavs to trade for before the deadline on Thursday. You're Nico Harrison. You're the general manager. Get your votes in down in the comments. Name a player that the Mavs should trade for. Now, Luka Doncic jerseys are available for you guys at chatsports.com/Luka jersey. Go check them out. Go purchase them today. Tons of different styles, different brands as well. Yes, including Nike. Chatsports.com/Luka jersey. All sizes available. We got a Jordan branded one as well. A really good looking one. Chatsports.com/Luka jersey. Check the comments. Check the description. We'll hook you guys up with a Luka Doncic jersey today at a really, really good price. Like I said, that link is down in the comments and in the description. All right, we'll keep things moving here on Dallas Mavericks Today. How about this report that dropped over the weekend? Did the Mavericks turn down a lottery pick for Dorian Finney-Smith? Again, this one from HoopsHype. Michael Scotto, quote, "The Dallas Mavericks are allowing the third fewest points in the league, and Dorian Finney-Smith has been an integral part of that defense. Dallas had the league's top defense in January, thanks partly to Finney-Smith guarding the opponent's top scorers. How vital is Finney-Smith to Dallas? The Mavericks passed on a potential late lottery pick in exchange for Finney-Smith, league sources told HoopsHype. There's a sentiment around the league that Finney-Smith may be outplaying his current extension number, which is $56 million over 4 years, as noted by colleague Yossi Goslin. Finney-Smith's current contract value is $20.69 million per year. That is a ton. I'll say this, and I love Dorian Finney-Smith. I think he's on the best value deal in the NBA at 3 years and $12 million. But if he's going to get $15, $20 million per year in free agency, then I have to consider taking a lottery pick for him, right? Like, I don't know, man. I think that's a potential mistake by the Dallas Mavericks. So, just 2 cents on that. We'll ask you, will the Mavs make a deal before the trade deadline? Type Y for yes, type in for no. Get your votes in down in the comments section. More on Finney-Smith in a second, but get subscribed to the channel because the trade deadline is coming up, and then the buyout market will be here as well. Maybe Goran Dragic becomes a Mav after Thursday. YouTube.com/MavsTV. More Mavs news, rumors, and trade buzz for you guys right on this channel. So subscribe, turn on those notifications, and don't miss any of our videos. Like I kind of alluded to, if you could get a top 15 pick for Dorian Finney-Smith, that's hard to turn down. Now, obviously, you're losing a player that helps you win this year, but if you can't re-sign him, or if there's a good chance you can't re-sign him anyway, don't you have to consider that? As a GM, this isn't LeBron and the Lakers where you're only focused on the current year. Like, you got to be thinking the next few years as well. And again, I love Dodo. He's been a great player for this team, especially for the contract he's played on, but he's not irreplaceable. You can find 3-and-D guys. Like, sure, like, he's been fantastic in the role he's played, but at the end of the day, it's not like, he's a vital difference in making the conference finals or not. Would I prefer to keep him? Sure, but if a lottery pick's on the table and he's going to cost $18 million a year in free agency, kind of think I'd trade him if I'm being honest. And obviously he's been a great developmental story. He's gotten better every single year. But again, you got to play your cards correctly, and I don't know if passing up a lottery pick for Finney-Smith is the right move. I really don't. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. That's what's being reported. I guess, maybe we'll find out before the trade deadline. What would you do? Would you take a lottery pick for Finney-Smith? I think I would. Type 1 for yes, type 2 for no. Be hard to turn down, man, especially if you are probably unlikely to keep him because you have Jalen Brunson to consider as well. So, let me know. 1 for yes, 2 for no on this one. And yeah, to my point, Jalen Brunson is the guy that you have to keep. It's impossible to keep both, basically. I mean, if Brunson's going to get almost $20 million, if Finney-Smith's going to get 15 to 20, I mean, where's the money going to come from? It's not going to fit. Sure, the Mavs can go into the tax, but you can only go so far at the end of the day. And to me, you have to prioritize Brunson. I mean, I won't call him a star in the making, but he's a damn good player. Like, he has become a legitimate player in this league that you can't afford to lose. So those are my 2 cents on that one. Let's talk Pascal Siakam. Matt Moore of the Action Network threw this one out there. The Mavericks were shopping for a center for much of the season, but have shifted in recent days to pursuing a power forward. Porzingis' revival this year has made Dallas focus on a stretch four to play next to him. They've re-entered the talks for John Collins and have made calls about Pascal Siakam, who we have not really talked about on this channel, at least during this season. So that's pretty interesting. This is a player that, has been a nice developmental story for Toronto as well. Now, I do think out of Collins and Siakam, Siakam's more likely. I think he's more attainable. I think he's going to be cheaper in a trade. And he might actually fit better as well as a more versatile defender than John Collins. And Siakam's had a really nice year this year, 21.5 points, 8.5 rebounds, 5 assists per game as well. Recently he's been shooting the ball well from distance, 48% from the field. Siakam's nice, man. He's a really nice player. And if he can come in here and be your number 3, that would be a great third piece next to Luka and KP. So pick one. We've talked about 2 guys on today's show, external trade guys. Obviously, we talked about Finney-Smith as well. Type PS for Pascal Siakam. Type CJ for CJ McCollum. Who would you like to pick to trade for before the trade deadline. I might pick Siakam, actually. He's a younger asset moving forward. All right, subscribe if you love the Mavericks. By the way, quick note that I just saw come through. Kristaps Porzingis will not play tonight. Just wanted to verbalize that to you guys. That's why subscribe, because we're getting you guys up to date here on the fly here. YouTube.com/MavsTV. More trade rumors and buzz over the next couple of days. And then, of course, the trade deadline on Thursday.